As you can imagine, being a YouTuber has its perks, and one of them is being able to work from home regardless of if there's a pandemic happening. So this is where I work most of the time. I have my workstation 5K iMac with the secondary monitor, my iPad Pro for schoolwork and just jotting down notes and stuff. I have my gaming PC very close by. So everything that I do is very close together, and my bed is like right here, unmade of course. And then beyond my bedroom setup, we have my very glamorous film or shooting setup that I have. But if we venture over a little this way through my messy basement, there's another workspace in this house that you don't know about, and that is my dad's office, which is normally an antique store, if you will. Let me turn on this creepy light here. In normal non-COVID-19 America, this place is used to store my dad's collection of antiques. So you see we have like old card decks here, an old scale, we have some mugs, we have some coffee cans and other stuff. He collects a lot of cool stuff from garage sales and antique stores, and this is where he puts all of it. And normally, you know, he'll come down here once in a while to take a phone call. He's a clinical psychologist, so, you know, privacy is important. So he'll come down here now that he's working from home to talk to patients and such. And he's also working off of a laptop because he also works for a hospital, which is not requiring him to come in. So I see him down here, but this just is not looking like a great place to work, kind of like my room. Even though my room's messy, at least I have a desktop to work here. So this is actually better than I've seen it. I've seen it way worse. I've seen it more full of stuff. But since he's been home, he's been trying to work here. So I want to make this into sort of a, you know, antique vintage, if you will, Apple setup to accommodate him. And by vintage, no, I don't mean like some 1984 Hackintosh. My dad is currently working off of a 13-inch MacBook Pro from 2012. So it's one of the thick non-retina versions. And yeah, with your permission, I'm gonna revamp your desk setup downstairs. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
So first things first, I have to find the right monitor for this setup, and thankfully I have the perfect item on hand. I bought it a couple years ago for my MacBook Pro, and this is an older 2005 Apple Cinema display. It's the 20-inch one with a resolution of 1680 by 1050, so perfect for what my dad will be doing. Nothing too serious, you know, more like office work. And I think this will fit into his office full of old vintage things better than this 22-inch Dell monitor would, for example, or one of these older like 4x3 monitors that I have here would. So I don't know. Even though this isn't technically super vintage or old school, it kind of fits the overall vibe of his office, so I'm going to put it on his desk. All right, so I have the monitor situated right here. What's really nice is the fact that we have a 3-pronged outlet right here for a 3-pronged plug, so I don't have to get like an extra adapter or have like a power strip down here. So I'm gonna plug this directly into the wall. And really quickly going over the inputs here, we have a USB type A port 2.0, which allows you to connect that to your laptop and connect to the 2 USB type A ports on the back of the monitor here. Alongside FireWire, we have a FireWire cable here, but nothing in 2020, especially my dad's work, requires this cable. And then we have the actual display input. I adapted DVI to a mini display port, which should work just great with my dad's laptop. We also have a mouse pad from a local computer shop that's been open since 1987, and I don't know, just the vibe of this mouse mat just matches just this sort of Art Deco, super colorful look of his desk here, so that's cool. As for the keyboard, we actually have this lying around. This is an original iMac keyboard, and I actually have an original iMac, although it's not color matched here. This is like this sort of blueberry color, and this is the indigo color, but this is the exact type of keyboard that would have shipped with this computer. And since this is sort of a retro thing, I want to put it in his office, so let's see how this looks. And here we have this keyboard. I'm already liking how the black keys are contrasting the rest of the desk and everything on it. And it kind of goes with, once again, the antique sort of vibe that we're getting here. And I know I'm young, and I know antique is a subjective term, but in my humble opinion, I think anything over the age of 20 in the tech world can be considered at least slightly antique. So that's why I think this goes well here. As for the mouse, I have something equally fitting that will go with the keyboard and the monitor. I think this is an old Apple Pro mouse here. It has a weird translucent design that I actually really like. It has black on the inside, black plastic. And this is something you could buy with the older Mac Pros back in the day when I was like 1 or 2 years old. And yeah, I think this will go well with the black keys and the mouse mat here, although it's a little scuffed up. But yeah, things are coming together here. There is no scroll wheel on here, so you have to actually manually click and drag, but I don't think my dad's gonna care because he barely knows how to use a trackpad on his laptop. So we should be good. And now all that's left to do is actually get the laptop here, plug it in, and see how things look. Okay, so it's not ideal, but these aren't ideal times by any means. So I'll also plug in the charger for this laptop, which will allow it to stay closed and operate and connect to the display. All right, so I'm gonna plug in the MagSafe cable. I'm also going to plug in the USB Type A cable. I think I said I wasn't going to, but I'm going to now because I want to connect the mouse to the monitor here because the ports are all the way over here. So we'll connect that as well. And then finally, I will connect the mini display port here. I should be able to plug this into the monitor. And actually the keyboard as well, because why not? All right, so we're connected here, but apparently the keyboard isn't working when it's hooked up to the monitor and then connected to the laptop. So instead, I'm going to take the keyboard plug and actually plug it into the laptop directly because there is enough clearance for that. And I forgot these old Apple keyboards have USB Type A ports on the side here, so I can actually plug in the mouse directly. So that's pretty convenient. All right, so what you think? Is this better?
Much better.
Than working on the couch?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
What do you think about the monitor? Does it go well with your office, sort of? I was telling people that I picked this monitor and this mouse and this keyboard to kind of go with the antique vibe.
New.
It's too now. Well, I said that anything that's over 20 in the tech world is pretty antique or slightly antique. Would you agree?
I agree. I like
Okay,
it.
you would agree?
Yeah.
You're disagreeing with me because you want to get to work?
Yes.
So there you have it, guys. I have my workspace, and now my dad has one in the basement, a sort of semi-official one. And I'm already liking how the aluminum Apple products are going with this old lamp here. How old is this actually?
It's from the 30s.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really antique. So probably makes me calling these antique look stupid. But anyway, here we have it. I think this looks pretty nice, actually. Even though your desk is like really busy, has a lot of stuff on here, I think that we situated everything nicely. And how is the keyboard, by the way? I'm just curious.
I like the old style.
Do you like it better than like mom's keyboard with like the newer like flat?
I do.
Okay. And how's the mouse too? Do you care that there's no scroll wheel?
I don't mind at all.
And like when you were using your MacBook, like were you actually like scrolling like this, or were you like going to like the little like scroll like button and like dragging it up and down?
I wasn't doing much scrolling on
Okay.
on
So yeah, exactly. Like these peripherals.
Yeah.
And like, what do you think about the monitor too? Like, although it's not like antique necessarily, like
it's just bigger and clearer and nicer. So thank you.
okay. Well, I will leave my dad to his new setup. He will be what exactly do you do with your MacBook?
Check my email and I type reports for work.
So perfect. Well, I will leave you to that, and I will get to work editing this video. And that about wraps things up here. I hope this was a nice, fun change of pace. I'm happy my dad finally has a setup like I do. Although it's not perfect, it will work for the time being as he continues to work from home during these interesting times, to say the least. I would really appreciate it if you leave a like on this video, comment if you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, and subscribe for more content like this, and turn on the bell icon and all notifications if you are a recurring viewer. Expect an iPad Pro 2020 review and possibly a 2020 versus 2018 iPad Pro comparison coming this weekend, I'm hoping. And as always, I'm Noah, and I will catch you all in the next one.